A man recording the scene said,
Look at this old lady. Ma'am, just let go. We've already caught this on video.
The elderly woman, unfazed, replied, "Go ahead and film. I'm not scared. I just picked this up from the side of the road." The man responded,
I'm telling you, ma'am, this isn't right. We were working on the power line, and just because the cable was on the ground, it doesn't make it yours. Let it go.
The elderly woman insisted, "What I pick up is mine. It was just lying there on the side of the road. If I didn't pick it up, somebody else would have taken it." The man replied,
Ma'am, you really aren't being reasonable. If we left our car on the side of the road, would you take that too?
It was reported that the workers in the video were repairing the power line when the elderly woman sat on the ground, tightly holding the cable and refusing to return it. She boldly claimed it was hers because she saw it first. The workers tried to reason with her, but nothing worked. Eventually, she lay on the ground, holding the cable tightly to stop them from taking it away. One commenter said, "I don't know if this lady is just ignorant or really greedy. The workers had left the cable on the ground, and she stubbornly claimed she had found it and made it hers. The audacity, taking a whole bundle like that. Even when the workers tried to get it back, she just sat down and played dirty. I wonder, doesn't she have children? This must be so embarrassing for her kids. She's in her 70s or 80s, but it seems like she hasn't learned a thing." Another user commented, "What if she saw money at the bank counter? Would she take that too?" Incidents involving China's elderly causing trouble by grabbing items are often reported. Recently, in Chaozhou, Henan, an elderly woman was caught on video stealing a pile of cardboard boxes that had been neatly arranged outside a shop.
The old lady is at it again, huh? Hurry, hurry, hurry. You better catch her soon. Oh, look at that. Her back isn't sore. Her legs don't hurt. And she's walking so fast. Like she's full of energy.
In Nanning, Guangxi, a shop owner had just received a shipment and left it at the entrance. In no time, the goods disappeared. Security footage showed two women in their 60s swiftly loading the goods into their cart and leaving. The shop owner had no choice but to call the police. However, the police stated, taking things from public places doesn't count as theft, leaving many shocked. Netizens reacted, "Did I hear that right? When I saw this video, I couldn't believe it. It reminded me of an old story where a kind person helped an elderly man who had fallen down, but was then accused of knocking him down. The judge asked, if you didn't knock him down, why did you help him up? It's the same twisted logic. Both situations just undermine moral standards." In Chaozhou, Guangdong, elderly people were seen in a group eyeing goods left on the roadside. They slowly moved in and started grabbing everything. Passersby joined in, and even when the shop owner rushed out to stop them, he couldn't do anything. One elderly person even fell during the struggle. There was another case where an elderly woman was caught red-handed stealing hangers. When the store staff tried to stop her, she boldly claimed that she only took a few, forcing the staff to call the police. The next day, the same woman showed up at the store, demanding an explanation and even shoving the staff. "Why did you stop me yesterday? Hey, answer me." "I wasn't the one who called the police." "But it is your store, right? So, what do you have to say? Didn't you agree yesterday that we could take it?" "Agree? No, there was no agreement at all. Why are you getting angry with me?" "Of course I'm angry with you. If I'm not mad at you, then who should I be mad at? Tell me." A different clip showed surveillance footage from a store entrance. A user posted, "This woman, though old, wakes up at 5 a.m. every day to come to my shop and steal cardboard boxes. If she put that effort elsewhere, she'd make more money. Do any local friends know her?" Scenes of elderly people scrambling for cardboard boxes, plastic bottles, and other recyclables are common on the streets of many Chinese cities. While these items may seem worthless to most, to these elderly they are seen as treasures, essential to their livelihood. This leads to conflicts over recyclables, as it directly affects their income. At first, I thought it was just a playful argument between a couple, but the more I watched, the stranger it seemed. Our neighborhood is quite a well-off area, so I don't understand why they would fight over a cardboard box like this. They ended up dropping their phones, and the elderly woman even fell backward. It didn't seem worth it. In the video, two elderly people are seen fiercely grabbing at a cardboard box near a trash bin. During the struggle, the elderly woman accidentally falls. One person commented, "It's really not worth it to go through all this trouble just for a few cents." Both the men and the women were clearly older, with limited income, and they just wanted to collect more recyclables to earn a bit of extra money. However, fighting over a single piece of scrap like this seemed unnecessary to onlookers. Recently, a user from Zhejiang shared a video of three elderly women walking unsteadily as they scrambled to grab a cardboard box. Someone commented, "I laughed at first, but then I felt sad. We're all just trying to survive, aren't we?" Two elderly women were seen fighting over a discarded box on the street, while a child nearby watched in confusion. The scene left viewers feeling a bit helpless, as elders should set an example for the younger generation. A resident in Hebei recently posted about a similar incident. He said, "I'm really fed up with the old lady downstairs who fights over cardboard. When she saw me carrying a box to the trash, she rushed over and asked for it. I didn't think much of it at first and just gave it to her. But later, when her grandchild was playing outside, she would tell him to go ask me for boxes, and soon other kids would rush over, fighting for the boxes I was throwing away. It was like a game to them. I really don't understand why they're teaching kids to act this way." He went on to explain that he initially didn't mind giving away the boxes, thinking it was a kind gesture, but one day he called one of the old ladies to come upstairs and get a large box. It was filled with other trash, and he reminded her to be careful because his walls had just been painted. She ignored this advice, and while moving the box, she scraped off a patch of paint. At first, he tried to brush it off as an accident, but when he went downstairs, he saw that she had carelessly thrown the unwanted trash all over the ground. That made him furious, and he decided not to give away any more boxes. Another video showed two elderly Chinese women fighting over plastic bottles. One even shoved a sanitation worker to the ground. The intense argument was clear, and viewers were quick to comment. So many young people were standing around watching, but no one stepped in to stop them. There was also footage of two elderly women in their 70s physically fighting over bottles in the middle of the street. They were completely caught up in the struggle, and no one nearby tried to intervene. With China's economic downturn, competition across various sectors has intensified. There's only so much to go around, and when more people are trying to share the same pie, some end up with less. Naturally, those who get less are unhappy, leading to scenes of people scrambling to get their share. In another clip, two elderly Chinese women were caught fighting over a water bottle on a basketball court. At one point, they even swatted at a young man who was drinking from the bottle. Viewers were quick to point out how inappropriate it was, saying that they could have easily made him choke. In Suzhou and Hui, two elderly people were seen in a battle, each refusing to give up over a single bottle. People watching were stunned, comparing it to children fighting over toys in kindergarten. Another video showed two elderly women at a night market fighting over bottles, which escalated into a physical altercation. One of them was even pushed to the ground. A viewer commented, "I don't know whose mothers they are, but they're just trying to make a living." Lastly, in Tianmen, Hubei, two elderly women got into a dispute while collecting bottles near a basketball court. One of them was almost knocked over, but a young man helped her up. In Guangdong, two elderly women nearly got into a physical fight over some trash, prompting commenters to say that it's shocking that society has reached this level of competition. It's worth noting that many people involved in these scrambles for recyclables come from rural areas. Due to inadequate social security and financial support, they often have no choice but to collect recyclables to supplement their income. This situation highlights the challenges some elderly people face within the social welfare system, exposing shortcomings in rural pension and social assistance programs. If the government could strengthen the social security system and provide better support, it might help reduce such incidents. Another clip showed two elderly women arguing over a cardboard box for half an hour, while elsewhere, a video depicted a dangerously overloaded tricycle carrying recyclables. There was also a report from Shanxi where an elderly man and woman clashed on the streets over recyclables. They argued intensely, with neither willing to back down, and ultimately the elderly man lost the battle. The woman involved, 62-year-old Wang, originally from a rural area, now lives in the city with her son's family. She knows her son faces significant monthly expenses, including car and home loans, along with general living costs, which amount to thousands of yuan. With no income of her own, she tries to sell recyclables to earn some extra money for groceries, hoping to lessen the burden on her son and daughter-in-law. So she joined others who collect recyclables, often going through dumpsters around the neighborhood in her spare time. One afternoon, Wang went out treasure hunting at street-side bins. She had some luck, finding over 10 empty drink bottles, some cardboard, and even an old kettle that seemed usable. But just as she was feeling pleased, an elderly man stepped into her area, and both reached for the kettle simultaneously, refusing to let go. As they argued and tugged back and forth, Wang kept verbally attacking the man while fiercely holding onto her prize, eventually managing to snatch the recyclables from him. The man, embarrassed, threatened to hit her, but Wang stood her ground. The man was about to make a move when a passerby stepped in and defused the situation. According to government statistics, nearly 30% of China's approximately 90 million migrant workers are aged 50 or older, many of whom have already passed the official retirement age of 60 for men and 50 for blue-collar women. The latest census on migrant workers shows that less than a quarter have access to pensions or medical insurance. China's current household registration system, or hukou, dates back to the 1958 Household Registration Ordinance, which divides individuals into two broad categories, agricultural and non-agricultural. After the economic reforms in 1978, cities imposed strict limits on household registration. A report from the State Council Development Research Center states that over 20 individual rights are tied to the system, including employment, education, social security, and family planning. This means millions of migrant workers in cities are denied basic public services, severely limiting their health, survival, and ability to assert their rights in employment relationships. Moreover, some people go as far as sprinkling water on cardboard boxes to increase their weight and earn more money, showing the lengths people will go just to get by. It's not just out of necessity. There are also reports of elderly women exploiting situations to take advantage of free items, like sample foods. Such behavior is common in supermarkets or events. At a wedding, an elderly woman was caught on video aggressively grabbing a red envelope by locking her arms around the bride's neck. Meanwhile, in a supermarket, a promotion on green onions saw elderly women scrambling so frantically that one of their carts even lost a wheel. Despite employees trying to maintain order and asking people to queue up, no one listened. In Shanghai, after an exhibition ended, an elderly woman tried to take some of the displayed items, treating it like a market stall. A female staff member politely said, "Ma'am, you can't take this," but the woman ignored her and continued grabbing things. A male staff member told his colleague, "It's not worth arguing. If she has the nerve to take it, just let her. It's not worth the trouble."
An elderly woman was buying peaches and demanded that the seller give her 10 extra for free. When the seller refused, she became furious and tried to grab the box where he kept his money. Even when the bystanders criticized her behavior, she boldly accused the seller of being stingy for not giving her the peaches. She then started snatching money that had fallen to the ground. Angry bystanders recorded the incident and shared it online, exposing her disgraceful behavior.
In Gansu, elderly people rushed to grab free tote bags outside an exam hall. Similarly, footage from a supermarket depicted elderly women grabbing discounted potatoes, emptying a whole bag in an instant. Viewers commented, "That's intense. Their fighting power is off the charts." Another incident in Shanghai's Yangpu district involved elderly people raiding a KFC food pickup station, leaving the shelves completely empty. In Chongqing, elderly women at a buffet were seen grabbing shrimp with their bare hands, showing little regard for manners. A video from the 2018 China International Import Expo went viral, showing middle-aged men and women swarming food stands. They rushed forward as soon as the servers brought out food, ignoring any concept of queuing or basic etiquette. The blogger who shared the clip explained that the event was initially meant to offer local residents, including retirees and temporary workers, a chance to see advanced international products. However, once inside, many of the visitors, especially the elderly, rushed to any area with food samples, grabbing food with their hands or even filling their own plastic bags. One blogger wrote, "Foreigners are left shaking their heads." One European staff member told a Chinese media reporter that he had attended trade fairs on every continent but had never seen such impolite behavior. In a supermarket promotion, elderly people stormed the store as soon as it opened, rushing to grab discounted items with remarkable agility, fearing they might miss out if they were a moment too late. Another video showed similar scenes of elderly shoppers scrambling for bargains. At a healthcare clinic in Shaoguan, Guangdong, an elderly person jumped the line to grab a nebulizer, causing a commotion. Her young grandson tried to calm her down, saying, "Grandma, please stop arguing." Eventually, she sat down, visibly upset and in tears. The clinic staff mentioned that the woman had a history of being aggressive and difficult, but they couldn't refuse her treatment. There have been numerous reports of unseemly behavior among the elderly in China, with netizens commenting that these individuals can be rude, stubborn, and surprisingly agile. When confronted, they often resort to irrational arguments, but when forcefully stopped, they hide behind their age. Some commentators believe it's a product of their past. This generation lived through the Cultural Revolution, a time of extreme material scarcity where goods were rationed through coupons. Back then, it was normal to see people raising their arms and shouting in crowded stores during holidays. These old habits, triggered by external factors, tend to resurface. It's a product of the era, and blaming them isn't entirely fair. Other netizens remarked, "This is the aftermath of the Cultural Revolution. These seniors grew up during times of hunger, and their way of thinking has impacted how they raise their children. It will take generations to reverse this behavior. This is Mao Zedong's legacy."